And now, from Pasadena, it's CCN Sunrise with Sunita Joshua Madison, Paulo Alejandria, the Crown City News team, and the CCN Sunrise segment stars. It's time to wake up San Gabriel Valley with CCN Sunrise.
Everybody, thanks for watching CCN Sunrise. We have a big show for you today. We'll start with lots of information on Ebola and enterovirus and what it means for your families. I'm Sunita Joshua Madison.
And I'm Lee Cuellar. Also, Pasadena News reporter Lauren Gold joins us for the Morning Buzz, as well as Ron Berry with the Pasadena Federal Credit Union.
Lee, it's good to have you here in our guest co-host seat.
Well, thanks very much. It's been an eventful morning already.
Yeah, how was it getting up that early?
Whew. Well, I was up at 4:15 and get in the car. Doesn't really start up right away, so I'm like, okay, let's make it to the studio. I try to start it again, and it's dead. So we spend the next hour and a half waiting for the tow truck, and now I'm here.
What a way to start the morning.
I tell you.
Oh gosh, it's not fun. I mean, it's not, me too. I was sleeping, I had the alarm set. All of a sudden you get that feeling of like, why do I feel so well rested? Oh, I just completely missed my alarm. So it's a rough one, but we're here and we are ready to go. And, but first up, we're gonna have news with CCN's Paulo Alejandria.
And now, CCN, Crown City News. Your news, your neighborhood starts right now.
Hi, Sunita. Hi, Lee. And hello to everybody out there. Here's a look at some of the news headlines happening right here in the San Gabriel Valley. Walkers headed to the Rose Bowl September 27th for the American Heart Association Heart Walk. CCN's TK Trinidad was there with her walking shoes on.
It's an early Saturday morning at the historic Rose Bowl where an estimated 10,000 people are here to help fight heart disease.
Our only child, Justin Carr, passed away on February 22nd, 2013 from an undiagnosed heart condition. He was a seemingly healthy 6'3" swimmer, and he called me an hour before he started to go swimming in this pool at a school, Harvard Westlake, and the next call I got, they said something had happened to Justin.
Justin Carr's family is on a quest to carry out his legacy and educate people on heart disease. His mom says Justin's life was cut short by an undiagnosed heart condition when he was only 17 years old. Survivor and student Maria Asoreto has also battled the disease.
I had a pre-heart attack on November the 6th, 2013, and then on February 4th, 2014, I had my open heart surgery.
Their families are here at the LA Heart Walk to raise funds to help fight cardiovascular disease, or CVD. The American Heart Association calls it the #1 killer of all Americans. Heart disease comes from plaque buildup in the walls of the arteries, which makes it difficult for the blood to flow and creates a risk for heart attacks or strokes. Other types of heart disease include an irregular heartbeat or heart failure. Through the website justincarrwantsworldpeace.com, Susan Toller Carr has come up with 12 questions patients can tell their doctors to help prevent or detect heart issues.
We have 12 basic questions that we have put together with a team of our friends and working with the medical field of just questions you could ask. Were you dizzy? Do you have a problem breathing? Did you faint? I mean, there's certain symptoms that may need to be looked at in more detail instead of saying, oh, you're just stressed out, or, it's a headache and you'll be better tomorrow, because we didn't have it tomorrow.
The LA Heart Walk's goal is to raise $1.7 million. As people walk a 5K or a 1-mile survivor route, they hope to inform and reduce the risk of heart disease and stroke through healthy habits. Susan Carr says if she knew then what she knows now, she might have been able to help prevent her son's death. And Maria Asoreto says she wants everyone to get healthy. In Pasadena, I'm TK Trinidad, CCN.
The first Ebola case diagnosed in the U.S. has rocked the nation, with officials trying to calm the nerves of anxious Americans. Kim Kargbo with the nonprofit Women of Hope International, which helps women with disabilities, recently came back from Sierra Leone, one of the Ebola hot zones. Kim happens to be the sister of CCN's Tammy Devine. After news of the virus had made its way into the U.S., Tammy spoke with Kim about it through Skype.
Hi everybody, I'm here on a Skype call with my sister, Kim Kargbo. Yes, she is my sister. I'll tell you the quick story. I was born in a mud hut in Sierra Leone, West Africa. It was just my mother and I, and after she died, a missionary family in a neighboring village adopted me. Kim was the oldest child of that missionary family, the Kimballs. The Kimballs brought me to the United States. They raised me as their own and loved me as their own, and I'm so grateful for all the opportunities I've had because of that. Now, Kim has her own nonprofit in Sierra Leone, West Africa, that she travels to quite frequently. It's called Women of Hope International, and she recently came back from there during this time of Ebola and the frightening circumstances around it. So I wanted to talk to Kim and get some information from her about Ebola and what it means, especially now that it has hit the United States. It's here now. So Kim, thank you for talking to us. I really appreciate it. One of the questions I think that you and I might have already talked about, but some people out there might have a question about is, you were there very recently. Is it possible you might have brought it back with you?
No. There's a couple reasons for that. Number one, Ebola is not easy to catch. That's one thing. It seems like that from the reports that we hear in the news, but it's not easy to catch. It's only caught through direct contact with body fluids. And I was not in Sierra Leone in a capacity of caring for sick people or really even being around sick people.
Should there be panic? I mean, should people be really concerned that this person in Dallas has it?
Here's what I hope, Tammy. I hope that people do get the pants scared off of them, not for themselves, because this is the situation that people are living with day to day to day in Africa, and nobody really cares. So I hope that this rocks people's boat. And
why don't we have anything to worry about?
Because, like I said, we will never have an epidemic of Ebola in our country. Our healthcare system's too good. Our public health system works very efficiently. You know that there are public health officials breathing down the neck of every person that guy had contact with and will for the next 21 days.
Kim is able to speak with authority about the Ebola virus and the symptoms and things like that because she's also a registered nurse. And one of the things that you said to me was that the virus is easily killable. You can kill it with soap and water.
Yeah. It's a very fragile virus. It's just covered with, it's called a lipid layer. So it's like a skin of the virus. And once that skin is disrupted, the virus is dead. So, and it's a very easy virus to kill outside of the body, in terms of like if it was on something or, you got the virus on you or whatever. And so, and with the body fluid transmission, what people need to understand is it's not just, I got a drop of virus on my hand. If my hand is intact, if I wash it with soap and water, it's done. Like I just killed the virus and it's gone.
Thanks for taking time and talking with us today and letting me be able to share with our audience the work that you're doing over there.
Thank you, Tammy. We appreciate your support too.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Okay. Love you. A heartbreaking interview there about some of the just tragic situations happening because of the Ebola virus there in Africa, and specifically in Sierra Leone, the country that I was born and where my sister works to train women with disabilities. That's all I have for now.
You can catch the rest of Tammy's frank and open interview with her sister Kim Cardbo, a registered nurse, on our website, crowncitynews.com. With so much fear of not only Ebola here in the U.S., but also enterovirus with cases here in the LA right now, we brought in Dr. Gary Bluestone, Chief of Infectious Disease with Kaiser Permanente, to tell us more about Ebola, and it sounds pretty scary out there right now. A lot of people are worried. Should we be as worried as we are?
We should be cautioned. We should not panic. The infection is certainly here. It's the first case that everybody knows about. They're referring to the patient that is currently in Dallas. But yes, we should be concerned, but we should tame the panic down a bit.
Well, it's hard, because I just wanted to ask you really quickly about what kind of guidelines are you following at your hospitals? Are you following CDC guidelines as far as, if Ebola was to come to Pasadena or Los Angeles area, or do you have a whole separate set of guidelines for your hospitals?
The backbone of our guidelines that we've developed at Kaiser Baldwin Park are based on CDC guidelines. They're straight out of CDC guidelines.
And that's the worry because obviously a lot of hospitals got these CDC guidelines, the Texas Presbyterian did, and things fell through the cracks. And that's the fear of how easy is it for things to fall through the cracks.
Well, obviously that's a cautionary tale case. All the systems were in place, and the patient did fall through the cracks. It's a steep learning curve. We're still, trying to learn. how to manage these patients, how to make sure that they properly get picked up, isolated, and ultimately diagnosed and taken out of circulation. Like I said, it's a cautionary tale, but we're learning from it. If a patient were to come to our hospital, I do have 100% confidence that we were going to be able to perform admirably and pick that case up and isolate.
Do you know if is there any screening, you know, when people come into the United States, are they filling out a questionnaire? Or do you know if there's a way to sort of to stop them at the border, so to speak? We were reading about stories of a couple of people. There's people who were ill on a flight, and they weren't taken off the flights from Liberia. I'm just curious if there is some sort of screening or questionnaire that goes on.
There is a questionnaire and there is a screening. Unfortunately, human nature being as it is, not everybody is forthright, as this case that we just discussed.
Well, the hard part is, I mean, you know, there's a great likelihood, especially with a flight from Liberia, which is really long, someone could, you know, get on the plane feeling okay, and then all of a sudden mid-flight, you know, 15 hours later, not feel so good. And there's a easy way to, you know, you go to the bathroom, you know, things happen in there, and you know, there's not sanitary conditions, and then you have other people using the same small area. I mean, is that a concern for people, do you think?
It certainly is a concern. The comfort is that Ebola is not easily transmittable. It requires a contact with body fluids, blood, vomit, stool, urine, etc. Casual contact, as such as you described on a plane, for instance, would not be considered a high-risk exposure. So yes, but it's a concern. It would not be considered a high-risk exposure.
So not like,
for instance, shaking hands with a passenger, that in this hypothetical case you're presenting, shaking hands is not considered a high-risk exposure.
Now, I mean, but shaking hands with someone and then, you know, brushing your hair or, you know, having your hands around your face, I mean, right there, that's an easy way to get it, isn't that?
Not a high-risk exposure.
Really?
So
Why is that? Tell us
coughing,
about
sneezing, not a...
No, it's not a respiratory virus.
Is it because you need, I mean, is there, because if you had a little bit of virus on your hand and you touched your face, is there not enough virus, or why is that a low risk?
It's considered a low-risk exposure because of lack of body fluids exposure. I mean, like I said, it's something you can get from coughing, or it's not transmitted through water or fomites or touching surfaces. It really requires, like I said, a considerable body fluid exposure.
So, I mean, because I've read, like, you know, it's in saliva. Let's say if you cough, if it's, or, you know, it's in sweat, and then the saliva if you cough. So are those just too small of amounts, or?
It seems to be that that's not a preferred mode of Ebola transmission.
Okay, so it would just need to be a lot more. Okay, well, that...
Good to know.
Because, yeah, for a lot of people, it would seem that it's just a small amount.
Yeah, because you shook hands with a theoretical patient.
Okay.
It doesn't guarantee that you're going to get Ebola. In fact, it's a very low-risk situation.
Great.
Okay.
Good to
well,
know.
thank you for clearing some of that up. I know it's going to make a lot of people feel better. But in any case, you should wash your hands. That is a big takeaway because that really can make so much of a difference. And get your kids to wash their hands, too. Coming up, the resignation of a Secret Service director, and college students need to give up consent, or they can't have any whoopee.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we'll have to find out about that one.
Pasadena Star News reporter Lauren Gold joins us in the Morning Buzz next.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Now for the Morning Buzz, another major story this week, the resignation of Secret Service Director Julia Pearson. We have Lauren Gold here from the Pasadena Star-News, and she's going to talk to us. You know, she was supposed to change the culture of the Secret Service, but I don't know if having a guy with a gun enclosed in a small space with the president really did the job. I mean, what happened with her? What do you think?
It's hard to say. I mean, she was kind of supposed to be the hero that came in after this big scandal in Colombia, but it kind of seems like she didn't really deliver as much as people were hoping. There was a pretty damning report in the Washington Post about her kind of not listening to advice given to her about security around the White House, which we saw kind of was a big issue with this fence jumper. And she was, you know, kind of not really into having a lot of security around the president, which is kind of what you would expect her to do, right?
Isn't that the main thing we want around here?
Yeah, it seems like maybe the silver lining of all this is that they're actually going to take kind of a close look at the department, which has been having problems for years, it seems.
Yeah, and you know, the hard thing for me with this case, there was an interview with Ron Kessler with Fox and Friends, and he was, you know, kind of pointing to, well, you know, she's a woman, you know, maybe that's the situation. And, you know, the fence jumper, he overpowered one of the female Secret Service agents. And I was like, what about all those men who were sitting around while the jumper was, you know, crossing the field? I mean, I don't know, were they watching porn or something? Because they didn't quite act. I don't know why this is a gender issue here.
Yeah, I don't think it's a gender issue at all. I mean, the Washington Post report said that there was supposed to be 100 servicemen around the White House, and she had reduced that number by a third. So that right there, you know, no matter if it's male or female, I think that's going to be an issue.
It's interesting to me that the time in which it took her to report to the president after the incident in Atlanta, she didn't say anything,
or didn't
until
report.
she was sort of forced to.
Yeah.
Right before it hit the news.
Yeah, that seemed like it was a major issue with her in terms of trying to keep things secret. The president said multiple times that, you know, the first he found out about some of these breaches was in the newspaper. So I think that's a major issue.
Yeah, that's like, it's time to go. If you're not reporting that stuff, stuff it up, because I don't think the First Family is safe at this point. You know, they need an overhaul. But another story that people are buzzing about, some colleges are requiring that anyone involved in sexual activity must first get consent from the other party. What do you think about this?
This makes me, this is crazy, you know. Well, you know, Sunita, you know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning and we've had about 12 cocktails between us. You know, I really want to take this to the next level. But can you sign this? Can you please sign this consent form so that I don't get arrested in the morning?
I know it can be verbal too, and they're saying, you know, each time this consent has to be given. It's not even one time, which I understand they're trying to, you know, account for date rape or, you know, long-term relationships where you can revoke consent at any time. I understand what they're trying to accomplish. I just don't know what this law is going to do.
Yeah, it seems kind of unrealistic. I mean, there's even, right after the law was passed, an app came out, you know, where you can record consent from your partner, although they were quick to stress that it would not be upheld in a courtroom, so I don't know about that. But it seems like it's more just to raise awareness. I'm not sure, you know, how you could really prosecute somebody for that.
Well, I know UCLA has talked about, like, they, you know, kind of talk about this in their orientation anyway, so I understand that from an orientation and kind of educating people, but law-wise, I don't know how it's going to work.
I don't see how it's going to happen. I think it sounds like late night fodder. It sounds like fodder for late night for Jimmy Fallon and people like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the law itself, the state law is not, you know, the one that governs the students. It just requires the colleges themselves to have some sort of policy about consent. So there's another layer of, you know, enforcement that I'm not really sure how that would go.
So it's basically a way for the colleges to cover themselves, that we've disseminated this information, we've told the students that's what they need to do, it's up to them to make it happen. Yeah. And at least they're covered. So I don't think it's really anything realistic, it's just, you know, legalese, basically.
Yeah. Well, it is nice to see something being done. I mean, it is a major issue that we've seen at a lot of colleges around here, so I think we should be dealing with it.
Well, Lauren, thanks for being here. We're going to bring you back in the next buzz in the next half hour, so thanks for being here.
Great.
He was recently honored as a Corporate Citizen of the Year on behalf of the Pasadena Federal Credit Union.
The credit union's president, Ron Berry, joins us next.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 68 children is diagnosed with autism. That's about a 30% increase in 2 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
They've won many awards recently for their work in the community. Pasadena Federal Credit Union's Ron Berry joins us now with more on the non-bank. We're not allowed to call it a bank, correct?
That's correct.
Is that
We're
the dirty
a credit
word?
union. We're a cooperative.
Much better. Now, what did it mean to you? You recently got a Corporate Citizen of the Year award on behalf of the credit union from the Pasadena Chamber, correct?
Yes, we're very proud of the work that our members and our employees have done in the community. We've been recognized by readers of local newspapers as well as the Chamber of Commerce. We're really excited about that award.
So tell us, going back to the bank versus a credit union, what's the difference? Who goes to a credit union versus a bank?
Well,
smart people, right? According to you.
Yes, credit unions started in 1934 as the Credit Union Act was passed through Congress, and that developed the cooperative financial institution and the industry that we are today. Credit unions are owned and run by a volunteer board, and they're owned by their members. We don't have shareholders. We don't. When it comes to profitability, we're looking at our members first. What's in their best interest?
So does that mean when you say it's owned by their members, is there a membership fee?
There isn't a membership fee. There is your shares. You have a share in the credit union when you open an account. So your deposits are your ownership in that credit union. And everything we do as a credit union revolves around the interests of our members.
Okay. So Ron, what can credit unions do that banks can't?
Well, they're a non-profit. They're not for profit. So they return the income and the profits back to its members, where banks are very concerned about keeping their shareholders happy. Wow. So that's one of the big differences.
Keeping the people happy.
And credit unions do offer the majority of the services that banks offer. We happen to be focused, our niches, with individual persons rather than business banking. So everything we do is geared towards those individuals, such as home loans and credit cards, auto loans, signature loans, those types of things.
Well, speaking of home loans, the Wall Street Journal had talked about how credit unions can offer better rates for jumbo loans, which is pretty important here in Los Angeles with a lot of home loans having to be jumbo. Is that something your credit union offers?
We do. Again, we do have to balance risk when we do take on these larger loans. We are a smaller financial institution. At $150 million, we are in the top 15% of credit unions, but compared to a bank who has much more assets than we do, their risk appetite is a little bit greater, and they can take on more of those large jumbo loans. We do jumbo loans, but we have to make sure that the members are vested in that property as well.
And how important is it for you to be involved in the community? Is that something, 'cause sometimes banks are kind of seen as, these big entities outside of communities. Is it important for you to be a part of the community?
Oh, it really is. It's been our culture for many years, and the credit union industry is all about helping those and serving the underserved, those that have had a difficult time getting banking relationships.
Okay.
It seems to me that it's such a warmer, kinder, gentler experience when you walk in and you can talk to a person at the credit union that's probably worked there 20 years, and you have a one-to-one relationship rather than some faceless entity that you dial with an 800 number to reach.
It really helped out during this last crisis because some of our members a lot of them were affected as the general population was affected. But we worked really hard to help our members get back on their feet and to work with them getting their bills paid.
All right, well, you probably got a little bit of a boost with all the financial talk in the banking industry.
We really did. In fact, we were on a list when they were doing downtown, when they were having the groups going against the banks, the big banks. They listed us as one of the credit unions that you should take a look at.
Awesome, that's great to hear.
Great.
Well, thank you, Ron, for being here.
My pleasure.
The support you've also given our show, we appreciate it, and being involved with the community.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ron. Coming up, a tour of the beautiful homes in the Garfield Heights district.
And a local pizzeria unveils a mural by a world-renowned artist that's been hidden for years. Next.
Enroll, we say, we want you to be okay. Enroll, we say, take care of people for goodness sake. There's a plan for every budget, so don't accept defeat. Now you can get covered and still buy me treats.
You take care of your pets. Now it's their turn to take care of you. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn about your health insurance options.
So, Lee, I bet you're not going to miss the Garfield Heights home tour.
No. They have some beautiful homes there. Garfield Heights is celebrating the 15th year anniversary of the Landmark District designation. CCN's Andy Rocco talked to Sandra Clark Davis, event chair, about the homes on the tour. Full disclosure, Sandra Davis is also a member of the IMTC board.
Hello everyone, I'm Andy Rocco here with Sandra Davis to talk about the Garfield Heights home tour happening this weekend. Sandra, tell me more about this tour.
Well, the Garfield Heights home tour is a tour that we have, and we're going to be featuring 6 historic homes here in Pasadena. They are going to have vendors there to share different information about the historic homes and how you can preserve them and make them even better. And it's really great because we have a lot of new neighbors and old neighbors just coming together and making the neighborhood more together.
What's so special about these homes?
Well, actually, it's in Pasadena, and the architectural detail, and too, what the homeowners put their heart into. You can go on www.garfieldheights.org for the information, and hopefully you can attend on Sunday.
Thank you, Sandra. You can purchase tickets online or the day of the event. In Pasadena, Andy Rocco, CCN Sunrise.
A controversial mural by a local artist has been hidden for years.
That's right. Some city officials considered a mural created by artist Kenton Nelson in 1990 to be outrageous because of its commentary on City Hall corruption. It was covered up for years until a new owner recently uncovered it. I had the chance to talk to chef and owner of 800 Degrees Pizza about why he decided to restore the work. Hi everyone, I'm here in Old Town Pasadena at the corner of Colorado and Fair Oaks Boulevard, where a mural by world-renowned local artist Kenton Nelson has been hidden for years. That is until chef and owner of 800 Degrees Pizza came in and decided it was time for the mural to see the light of day. We're here with Anthony Caron with 800 Degrees Pizza. Tell me a little bit about the mural. Why is it so special?
Sure. Well, the mural was originally painted in 1989. And it was commissioned for the Right Spot Deli, which used to be in this space. And at the time it was a little bit controversial because there's some sort of references to maybe what might be seen as the inefficiencies of city bureaucracy and government. And so 2 years later...
They have City Hall called City Hell.
Yeah, and there's a closed sign on the front door, and there's some, an architect walking in with money bags. So, at the time it was a little controversial. So 2 years later, when the new owner moved in, Luis's Trattoria, they promptly went ahead and covered it up. So we were really shocked to find it.
Okay. And what was your reaction when you found out that there was this, amazing mural right there?
I mean, it was a big surprise. We didn't understand the significance of it at first, but our landlord was kind enough to kind of fill us in on the controversy. And once we really learned about Kenton Nelson, we were so happy.
And what was was it a hard decision to decide, yeah, we are going to showcase this?
It wasn't hard. We had to redo some of the drawings and some of the architecture and change some of the design, but in the end it was worth it.
Have you gotten any pushback from City Hall now?
No, I think 25 years later everybody's okay with it.
Well, he's obviously, Kenton Nelson, he's known for his WPA style artwork, and I think people have really, embraced him here in the city, so I'm sure that's, they're happy to have it highlighted.
Right, and he was a young man when he painted it. And now 25 years later, he actually came in and restored it for us. So we took out all the nail holes, brightened up the colors. It really looks great.
Yeah, because, you have this pizza place, but it's not your everyday, pizza place. You have these beautiful chandeliers here, great artwork. How much did you have to design the place around the artwork?
A good bit. This room that we're standing in is historic, so we couldn't touch much. On the other side where the mural is, we went with mostly a black and white palette to kind of highlight the colors of the mural, really show it off.
Now, does Kenton Nelson, does he get free pizza for life around here?
He was here at our grand opening, and he's actually going to bring in some more of his artwork, which we're going to showcase around this room.
So tell us a little bit about your pizza. We see the ovens back there. What's the significance of 800 degrees?
Sure, that's the minimum temperature that the pizzas cook in the wood-burning ovens. We make pizza in the style of Naples, Italy, and very true to the traditional, simplistic and pure style.
Okay, great. So you can basically come here and have your pizza made to order. And
correct, and because of the 800-degree temperature, it bakes in 1 minute.
Okay, that's really fast.
Yeah, by the time you leave the counter, your pizza's in your hand and you're on your way to your table.
Okay, you can't get better than that. There you go, folks. So if you want to take a look at world-class artwork, you can enjoy world-class pizza with that. In Pasadena, CCN Sunrise, Sunita Joshua Madison.
Coming up in our next half hour, a job fair especially for our veterans.
And Mary Winters tells us about the healing power of touch.
Ooh,
next.
I like it.
Do you feel the power and energy?
I feel the power. I do.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
And now, from Pasadena, it's CCN Sunrise with Sunita Joshua Madison, Paulo Alejandria, the Crown City News team, and the CCN Sunrise segment stars. It's time to wake up San Gabriel Valley with CCN Sunrise.
We're back with our second half hour of CCN Sunrise. That is, lots more to cover. I'm Sunita Joshua Madison.
And I'm Lee Cuellar. Rodrigo Garibay from EDD is here to talk about job fairs for vets.
Lee, have you seen that feel-good video? It's so exciting. It started out as a terrible story. There was a boy who had a lemonade stand, and he got robbed. And he was trying to raise money to buy a dog, and it got robbed. But the thing about people coming in and really supporting him, I just love that story.
I thought it was. It really is a feel-good story. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. The author stepped in. Paid for this dog after the kids got robbed, and it's amazing to me that somebody's going to rob a lemonade stand. How bad can things be?
Absolutely.
If you have to jack a little kid for his lemonade stand?
I know. Well, the thing is, even before the author stepped in, I love that there was someone who handed this kid $15, and then he taped it inside the book Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and then he wrote in there, Don't give up on people. And I thought that was such a powerful message because there's so many awful things going on around here, and it's so easy just to be like, oh, I got robbed, and it's awful. But think about all the people who are coming in and supporting this kid. And he finally got his dog. I mean, that you can't beat that story.
That's right, absolutely right. It's happy kid, happy dog. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Well, that's now we're going to go to CCN's Paulo Alejandria, and he has the news.
And now, CCN Crown City News. Your news, your neighborhood starts right now.
Hi, Sunita. Hi, Lee. And hello to everybody out there. Here's a look at some of the news headlines happening right here in the San Gabriel Valley. Los Angeles Magazine recently named local public high school, one of the top 10 schools in LA County. CCN's Tony Mead has that story.
Marshall Fundamental's motto is, "It's a great day to be a Marshall Eagle." That was especially true for them the day they came in 8th in LA Magazine's Best LA County Schools list. Marshall was the highest rated public school in the San Gabriel Valley.
I don't think we're necessarily new or innovative. I think we have a core purpose and we know who we are and we stick to that.
The magazine's list included the best of 75 public and private Los Angeles County high schools. The list creators took the total number of advanced placements and international baccalaureate tests given in 2013 and divided that by the number of seniors who graduated. ASB President and Senior Maria Gasca says she and her siblings have grown up at the school and made lifelong friendships here. Maria says she's also built great relationships with her teachers.
I made lifelong friends I've known since 6th grade. I built relationships with teachers that you wouldn't normally create in another school.
The school offers a wide range of activities, including music and athletic programs, plenty of community service, an honors club, along with an arts department. And if they don't see a program they want, students are encouraged to make up their own clubs. Principal Dr. Mark Anderson says he and his staff are committed to helping his school of almost 2,000 students succeed.
We're Marshall and we're committed to diversity. We're committed to offering rigor to all our students. We're committed that any student can learn, and we've been that way for over 10 years.
13 San Gabriel Valley high schools made the list, with Pasadena's Polytechnic, a private school, coming in second. Marshall was highlighted as a public school that provides excellent education despite 70% of their students coming from low-income families. As you know, CCN Sunrise runs on the Arroyo channel in Pasadena. Pasadena Media owns the Arroyo channel. The station's executive director, Carrie Stockstead, received a big honor. She was nominated for and received Business Life Magazine's Women Achievers Award. CCN's Andy Rocco has the story.
More than 300 people gathered here in the Glendale Hilton to celebrate the achievements of 27 women. The honorees included Pasadena Media Executive Director Carrie Stockstead, who has worked for more than 2 years on creating a brand new studio for local TV producers.
A renewed focus on media in Pasadena, I think that helps to reestablish that community and that volunteerism. And so that's my goal for the next year especially, is to really continue to bring that back into the community through the television station and through events that we'll actually hold at Pasadena Media.
Mayor Bill Bogard and City of Pasadena Public Information Officer William Boyer attended the event in support of 4 Pasadena women, including Stockstead. Organizer Greg Kerkorian says recognizing women achievers has been a family tradition since 1989.
We said to ourselves, what a great opportunity for us to salute women and to shed light on women. So for 25 years, we've been continuously supporting, honoring women, featuring women, and how do you break the glass ceiling.
Besides a luncheon, the Women Achievers event featured networking opportunities and free workshops. Presenter Betsy Brookhammer-Creder challenged women to get involved with corporate and nonprofit boards.
Less than a fifth of all board seats in the country are held by women. But now's the time to, as more board members are retiring from their current seats, to be sure that women are well positioned and have the experience, and there are many women who have the experience.
Derek Chevalier also made a presentation about opportunities with the State Employment Development Department. He says he's part of this event's organizing committee, partly because of a woman achiever in his life.
I was raised by a woman, have greatest respect for women, and just feel it's an honor to be a small piece of the service and organizing. So incredible women from real estate and business and public service and medicine.
While some here say women still face challenges balancing work and home life, they'll also tell you women have achieved many great things. In Glendale, Tammy Devine, CCN.
With the theme of when you wish upon a star, your dreams come true, the San Gabriel Chamber of Commerce hosted its 3rd annual Bridal Quinceañera and Special Occasion Expo at the San Gabriel Hilton September 28th. Attendees sampled delicious food and got their hair and makeup done, all in the gorgeous Hilton Ballroom. Chamber Executive Director Sandy Roscoe thanked the vendors and sponsors, including the Hilton, which she calls the Hotel with a Heart, for their help in organizing the event. She says this came about because they wanted a way to help small businesses who couldn't afford the large and expensive bridal expos. Hundreds came out for the event, browsing sponsors' tables, including our own CCN Sunrise booth. All right, and that's all the headlines happening around our neck of the woods. Back to you guys.
Thanks for that, Paulo. Well, Lauren Gold from the Pasadena Star News is back for our second Morning Buzz. Let's start with the release of the deposition of the officers involved in the Kendrick McDade case. Lauren has written extensively of this case, and the Pasadena Star News received the deposition after they were leaked to them. You know, that's pretty big because you've been after those depositions for quite some time.
Yeah.
So there seems to be so much confusion that had happened that night. And I just kind of wonder, the obvious thing was, why didn't they have the lights on? You know, I remember when the case happened asking the chief that, and it just didn't seem clear. There's no good reason.
Yeah, and I don't think the depositions really changed that for me. In reading them, it does sound like kind of their excuse was that it was just chaotic, and the whole chase happened in a matter of seconds, really. So that does kind of add to the confusion of the incident, but they definitely should have flipped the switch on for sure.
Well, because it seems like, they didn't know who was shooting, and, the officer thought that, one officer thought his partner was being shot, but with the light on, that could have just, cleared a lot out. They almost kind of looked like they were bungling, kind of just, I don't know. It just didn't look like it was a good situation that they had any control over.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because we weren't there. We don't know, kind of, if you think your partner's being shot, of course you're going to be afraid. But they definitely, it seems like there could have been a lot of different measures they could have taken to avoid this whole situation, including probably following McDade in the first place. Although it seemed, officers have told us that he was involved in a robbery before this happened, there's still been kind of no proof that he was involved. He could have just been in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And that's definitely the hard part.
Police are trained to respond in a very specific fashion. It's supposed to be by the numbers. They're supposed to approach I've lost my train of thought.
Approach it
a suspicious person in a very specific fashion, and it doesn't seem like they did that in this case. And maybe they should have put their car in park before they dismounted and chased this guy.
To find out about that they had the car in reverse and almost ran over McDade.
Yeah, it seemed like kind of a crazy situation that was happening. One officer was chasing him on foot, the other was driving backwards, and he was actually injured, from the car rolling backwards into him. So
you begin to understand why the city paid the settlement to the parents, but you just kind of wonder. They were so forthcoming with the Leroy Barnes incident, a little bit more. I mean, I know there was a lot of, trying to get that information, but how troubling is it that you've had to work so hard to get this information?
Yeah, I mean, it's been difficult. It's kind of expected, I think, from the city. The thing that'll be interesting about these depositions is we've been waiting for this report from the Office of Independent Review to come out on the shooting, and the Police Officers Association is trying to block that. But now with these depositions out, it might change that. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, now this was a comment that was actually left at the Pasadena Weekly. Sorry about that, Lauren. But it was, we had to highlight it because the person who left the comment really put a lot of thought and creativity into it. She created basically a playlist of, candidates for mayor, starting out with Bill Bogard, "It's Over Now" by the Rolling Stones. I mean, I just thought this was hilarious because, she had different songs for each of the people, like Steve Madison, "You're So Vain" by Carly Simon. What do you think about that list?
It was pretty entertaining. I mean, a lot of the people on there, I'm not sure if they're actually going to run. It seems like it's kind of an open race at this point.
We got Terry Tornick, and he had "Hit Me With Your Best Shot" by Pasadena Star News, by Pat Benatar, because he just hit the ground running. I mean, the mayor hadn't announced anything, and he's like, I'm in it to win it.
Yeah, and he was kind of criticized for that at the beginning, kind of declaring before Bogart had said he was out. But I mean, now he's already got a year head start on everybody else. So he's been walking the neighborhoods, and so we'll see how he does.
Yeah, he was on talking about that. What was your favorite on this list here?
You know, I like Jackie Robinson. Time is on my side. I've spent some time with Jackie. She's been very supportive with the Pasadena Humane Society and District 1 business over the years, and I like her very much as a candidate as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she's going to run. I mean, like the song says, she's a bit young, and she's also running for Congress, so I think that might interfere a little bit.
Lots on her plate. Who's missing from the list that you think is a serious candidate that's not on here?
It's hard to say. I mean, most of the people that I would suspect are kind of on that list, but a lot of people that have said for years that they were planning to run have said now that they aren't. So it's kind of an open race here, but I'm sure a lot of people will declare.
Calvin Wells, do you think that's a serious candidate? I mean, he's retired from the fire department.
Yeah, I've actually heard that from a few people that he might be interested. You know, he's definitely a public servant at heart, so I think he's probably looking for some way to give back.
That's certainly coming out of retirement.
I want to announce this right now. I will not be running for mayor.
Oh, good, because we need you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much for that, Lauren, and we're going to keep reading all of your articles that you have at the Pasadena Star-News. And welcome back anytime. All right, many veterans leave the military only to find out how hard it is to find a job.
Rodrigo Garibay from the state's Employment Development Department has good news for some of them. A job fair geared towards veterans next.
Preventing wildfires. That's all Smokey wants for his 70th birthday.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
A new study looking at the state of veterans in Los Angeles County found 8 in 10 left the military without a job and thought it would be easy to find one, only to find out it wasn't so easy. Rodrigo Garibay with the Employment Development Department is here to talk about an upcoming job fair specifically aimed at helping vets find work. And you're a vet too, right, Rodrigo?
Yes, I actually just came back from my deployment in June.
Oh, wow. Where were you?
This time around, I was in Kuwait.
Okay. So what was it like for you? I mean, how hard is it to come back and find a job?
Well, I mean, it could be difficult. My last deployment, I actually got a notice that my contract had ended with my last job. So I've kind of been on that side, and luckily, you know, the department was able to bring me back. But I mean, it's kind of difficult coming back knowing that you're gonna come back to nothing.
Not knowing what you're going to come back to.
Well, Rodrigo, what's your MOS, your military occupational specialty?
Oh, it's 88 November, Transportation Management Coordinator.
We got another vet
Great.
here, right?
So you supervise truck drivers. Would that be a fair assessment?
It's part of the job, yes. On the last deployment, I was in charge of an AOR, so it was more port management. So with the drawdown of Afghanistan, all the equipment coming back from the different ports, we were in charge of tracking all the shipments.
So when vets are in the active duty, are they kind of like, you know, told that it's going to be really easy to find jobs when they get back and that their skills are going to translate so easily? Is that part of, you know, kind of the adjustment of thinking it's going to be okay, so not planning for it and then coming to reality?
You know, you do hear of a lot of support, especially from, like, you know, organizations, you know, the state, that there is programs, but a lot of the time they don't really know exactly where to go. So that's why we try to help with that and guiding them and not only providing them assistance with employment, but other, supportive services.
True. When I got out a long, long time ago, the EDD, Employment Development, they make veterans, it's a mandatory class. We have to go to this class. Yes. I went in Glendale, and they were like, here you can help write a resume, or how you can dress professionally, things like that.
Oh, so they do walk you through.
Very, very helpful. Okay. Very, very helpful. It seems to me that you still have to put it out there. You still have to suit up, boot up, and show up, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We definitely have various workshops that help with resume writing, job interviewing skills, how to dress to impress on interviews.
So the vets that are falling through the cracks, are they just not seeking out the services, or is it just hard to find out what's out there?
I guess it's a little bit of both, because you do get a class at the end when you come back from deployment. They talk about where you can go, and I think it just all depends on the vet, where they're at. Mm-hmm. They may think they can just,
Okay. Well, now you are hosting some job fairs around to help vets, specifically for them. But the USC report that I talked about earlier found that nearly a quarter of vets are either living at the poverty line or below. So are the jobs being offered through the fairs, are they more high wage jobs, or?
It's actually a whole variety of jobs. I mean, there's high paying jobs. There's just the regular standard jobs. So there's going to be a lot that the job fair is going to offer.
And you work with the Valley Economic Alliance on these, or?
Yes, the Valley Economic Alliance is a big partner with us, especially in the job fairs. They help a lot with marketing the event, and also getting the employers, that are with their organization to come out to our job fairs.
And your next job fair is October 16th. Where can people find out more information?
Well, it's actually on Eventbrite.
Okay.
If you go to HAV, so we call it the HAHAV, and at eventbrite.com, and you can register for that. Okay. And you can come to any of our EDD work sources, and we got flyers, and we can provide you with more information and also workshops to get you prepared for all that.
October 16th in Woodland Hills, or where is it located?
Yes, it's at the Warner Center.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for all that information, and good luck to you in helping vets find jobs.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, it is all about touch.
Mary Winters tells us its healing powers in her Senior Solution segment. Next.
Did you feel?
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
I'd touch you, Mary, if you were just a little bit closer.
And I don't want you to be concerned about Ebola. I think it's important that we actually have a little touch, and it's appropriate. So do you know that you have superpowers? In a single fingertip, you have the power to reduce someone's anxiety, slow down a heart rate, decrease blood pressure, and boost a person's immune system. How's that, you say? By touching a body's biggest organ, the skin. Years ago, a study in New York included seniors who had strong family connections, but they lived alone. They were paired with preemies in the hospital to provide extra attention by holding them, feeding them, and interacting with the babies whose parents weren't available during the day. The results revealed that the babies gained weight faster, had a better immune system, and were able to go home faster. The seniors had the same kind of benefit to their immune system and reported reduced levels of depression. By using our sense of touch and providing physical interaction, incredibly positive things can happen to us. We know in research that love and affection help to develop a baby's brain. Children can grow to be less violent as adults, and we can stay healthier as we age with respectful, affectionate touch. the late Leo Buscaglia, the motivational speaker, on the meaning, he spoke on the meaning of life shared. Love is always open arms. Hugs make you feel psychologically more secure and together. Hugs are important in my house. I say 8 hugs a day keeps the doctor away. When you meet me in a lecture, you're more than likely to get a hug from me than a handshake. It's really selfish because I know the personal benefits. So use your superpowers today by offering a pat on the back, stroke on the arm, or giant hug. And let me know if you feel better. Drop me a note on the CCN Sunrise Facebook or Twitter page.
Well, it's so important that you talk about this because sometimes with older people, it's hard to, especially when they're frail, it's hard to know, like, should I touch them? Should I not? I felt that way with my grandmother. Is she gonna break if I touch her?
It's important. Just a little stroke on the shoulder. If somebody's really pulling away from you, you know that they're not going to respond well to touch. But most people do, and it's actually a very positive thing.
All right. Well, thanks for that, and I'll give you a hug after this.
All right, sounds good.
We'll have a big hug out.
Okay, a big hug fest.
I respond very well to hugs, by the way.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I get gray hair trying to get my daughter's lunch together for school.
Janet Min with Pumpernickel Deli can help make mornings a little easier in the Taste of Sunrise. Next.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
For most parents, trying to get their kids' lunches together in the morning is the most stressful part of their day. Dave's not in today, so we invited Janet Min from Pumpernickel Deli to show us an easy kids' lunch. Okay, what do we have, Janet?
Okay, so today we're going to be preparing apple slices with peanut butter, or for kids who are intolerant to peanut butter, we've also got almond butter here. And we'll be making little pinwheel sandwiches that are placed in place with these little
picks. Oh my gosh, those are so cute. Where do you get those?
Well, actually, you could get these at places like Tuesday Morning or other little craft stores. I mean, these are pretty prevalent now. They're probably all over the place.
All right, so what do we do? How do we start up?
All right, so Lee, if you wanted to grab an apple, and you could use either color, or you could even combine the two colors. No, let's not do that. No.
I'm going to cut this in half?
No, we want to be using safe knife skills when we make this.
Okay.
So let me just show you a little easy little trick that you could do. Obviously, the apple is round, so it doesn't have a flat cutting surface. Just cut a little bit off the bottom like this. Throw that away, and then that way you have a more stable base. Okay, and then just cut the top part off.
Okay.
And then you could just slice them into rings into this shape.
Great.
Okay.
No wonder I cut myself so many times.
A little thinner though, because they're going to be sandwiches.
Great, like something like that?
Yes.
Like that?
And then make a couple more slices.
Couple more slices.
Yes, you're doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Okay.
You're all day.
And
how's
then,
that?
Great. And then after that, wanted them a little thinner than this because now you have to put these through them.
You're so critical, Janet.
You're going to do some extra work.
Make a hole.
All right.
All right. So
now we push
put
this
the
in
cookie cutters through the core of the apple.
And those are things
there
you can get
go.
Tuesday
like
mornings too?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. These cookie cutters are available at any kitchen store like Sur La Table or Williams-Sonoma.
And if you don't have that, I mean, is there like something in the kitchen you can use, or?
These are actually cookie cutters.
And you can do different shapes?
Yes.
I
but
see you have like a heart one here.
you can use this one
so
for
cute.
something like this here.
Isn't that cool?
Give
Look
you
at
the
that
privilege.
cute little shape.
I'm really
Oh my gosh.
underachieving with my daughter's lunches, obviously.
I do stress out every
Oops.
morning.
I am a fanatic
There you
when
go.
it comes to kids' lunches because I believe that if you want to make your kids eat anything, you need to make them visually appealing first.
Oh, that's
so
my problem.
We want these. We want to make these fun to eat. Here, use a little bit of
Let me
your.
do it. Okay.
Use your vet
Yeah.
power.
Yes.
My special powers,
Okay.
right, Mary?
Right. So we'll pop these out, and then
That makes it so easy.
You'll. Here. Did you want to use peanut butter or almond butter?
I like almond butter.
Okay, so if you could spread a little bit of the almond butter over each slice and then just stack them on top of each other.
Why don't we put this one over here? I broke that.
That one broke.
Sorry.
Okay.
So we're going to smear some almond butter.
Right.
And do you do a really thin one, or does it matter?
It depends, whichever way you like it.
Okay.
So.
I know Sunita likes a
Good skill.
lot of almond butter.
I sure
And,
do.
you know, if we
I
wanted
like the
to-
crunchy ones.
If we wanted to use a green apple as well, you could alternate between green and red and green and red and make it a little bit
Christmas
more
celebration.
colorfully
How colorful
visual.
that is. That's
Yes.
great.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, and then just stack them on top of each other. And this is actually a really healthy snack because I know the kids get a snack time before their lunch hour. So, you know, just a little something in the middle of the.
So what do they do for lunch hour?
Okay, so in the middle of, for their lunch hour, let me cut off this. Okay. If you could cut the rind off.
The
Cut
skin
the
off.
crust off.
Now I always worry about that because I'm like, well, is the good stuff in the, is the good stuff in the crust, or does it matter, or is it better that they just eat it?
No, well, in this case, it's actually better if you cut the crust off
Looks
because
a
it
little
won't.
better.
Right.
Okay.
So then you want to take a rolling pin and just roll it out and make it flat.
Flat.
Not just for hitting your
My
husband
husband
anymore.
always yells at me for making the bread flat. 'cause
Okay.
I'm not very careful.
All right.
Okay. All right.
So then take this and then you'd want to layer a couple of pieces of turkey or ham or whatever
And the
lunch
cheese?
meat that, yes.
Do I alternate, or does it matter?
No, you just layer it on there and then we're going to roll it up.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. All right, let me get this going.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. Now start rolling.
Okay.
Tuck the ends under and then start rolling, yes.
Okay.
Then when you have that roll, get your knife.
Okay. And just cut
And
them.
then
I gotta
cut off
probably
the
cut this
right,
part,
cut
right?
off
'Cause
the
that's
end
not
first,
pretty.
and then cut it into just maybe 1/2 inch, 1 inch
Like that
slices.
much?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
Uh-oh, I didn't
And see
tuck
how it
in
becomes
very well, huh?
undone,
Uh-huh.
which is why we have these little picks. Then you take them here.
Oh my gosh, that's adorable.
Okay. So these are some options that you could do.
You just got to warn the kids not
Yes.
to like start poking each other
Right,
with those,
and I
right?
think this is like an octopus.
Oh my gosh, I love
Okay.
those.
These are great. This
Yes.
will totally get your kid to eat lunch.
So
Because my kid doesn't eat sandwiches, so he might actually
exactly,
do it with this.
and they're easy to eat. You just pop them in your mouth, and you're done in a mouthful. Okay, so the finished product when you're all done
Look at that.
is you have the apple stacks, the carrot sticks that you could put together with a little side of ranch dressing. This is organic tomatoes that I got from my own garden. The pinwheel sandwiches, and I have a
That's
little
so
cup
pretty.
of Greek yogurt with a little sprinkling of honey and granola.
And so you kind of just made
And
your
it's
own
a
little...
compact, yes,
Yeah,
and it's a compact Lunchables type of lunch.
It's like a bento box,
That's
but you just use these
really
little
healthy,
containers that
Okay.
makes it cute. So that makes it so easy, and it's a variety for the kids, and I love it. I want to eat these things.
And
Do you
all the
think this
package-
is something that your daughter may eat?
She would eat all of that. And it's great that it comes in packaging that you take home and wash and reuse.
Yes.
That's great.
Well, thanks, Janet, for being here and showing us this really simple trick to be star parents. I can't wait. That's it for the show, and we'd like to thank all of our sponsors for supporting our show.
Big thanks also to Lauren Gold from Pasadena Star News, Dr. Gary Bluestone from Kaiser Permanente,
Can I
Ron
eat
Berry
one of
from
these?
Pasadena Federal Credit Union, Rodrigo Garibay from EDD, and Janet Min from Pumpernickel Deli for being here. Thanks also to our crew and especially to you out there watching us. See you next time.
There's something better about it being rolled. I don't know. We're going to leave you with a shot of the 31 beautiful finalists for this year's Rose Court. Enjoy.